Hello everyone, welcome to day 101 of playing chess every day for a year. From today, I'm going to be playing, instead of two rapid 10-minute games, I'll be playing one game a day, 15 minutes rapid with 10-second increment. I think this will be better for me because I'll be able to spend much more time learning theory and playing games, playing 10-minute games for practice because I feel like I need to play more games to improve. And I'll be able to spend more time every day learning theory and learning new openings because I've been playing e4 for the last 100 days. But let's find our first 15-minute game. So we're playing as white. I'll go for e4. We get e5. I will play knight to f3 as always. We get knight to c6. And so I'll play the Italian. Play c3 here. If we see knight f6 we push d3. My opponent plays this way. I don't want to play queen b3 because then this knight move is a fork. I could play b4 here, which looks strong, preventing knight a5. Just kicks my bishop. I could pin the knight to the rook. Bishop comes up. If I play queen b3 in this position, I'm hitting this. My opponent would have to slide the queen up. If I trade here now, I win it, and I'm attacking the bishop, and then I can also bring my queen. The queen b3. My opponent literally has to defend with the queen, and that defends this, so I think I go into this trade. My opponent does win this pawn. By taking here attacks the piece. If my opponent takes, maybe I have this. Should probably defend this pawn first though. So I will play d3 here. Just attacking this. Problem is my opponent can defend now. I don't think trading the central pawns here is good. My opponent's bishop would be quite strong. My opponent can play d6 here, or f6. They play d6. I should probably castle here. I could push c4, just trying to develop my knight. c4 looks okay. d4, I get strong center if my opponent doesn't take. If my opponent does take, I take with the knight. But then this hangs. If I go here, this hangs. I think I'll just castle here and bring my rook. Adds an attacker to this. I can develop my knight to d2 to defend. It looks good. I wanted to put my knight on c3 after pushing, but I have to defend this. I'll put my rook on this e-file so that I'm able to push. I think I'll put my bishop on b3 or b2. Just put more pressure on this diagonal. Knight goes this way. I'm able to push d4 now, and if we trade, I'm attacking the knight. Taking is bad for my opponent. I attack two pieces. Oh, I think that's very bad for my opponent. I'm attacking their bishop and their knight. Next, I'll bring my rook to the e-file and try to develop this bishop. I don't see how my opponent defends both pieces. If I take with the queen, I don't see any way my opponent could trap my queen. Our position looks good here. I really want to bring my rooks and my bishop into the game. Bishop goes back. I can take here. I take here. My opponent could go for queen trade. Oh, if I take here and my opponent develops their queen, I can go back to f3 though, so it's okay. This bishop is gonna be annoying. Luckily there's a pawn there as well. I can just take the knight here. Seems like the best move. Take them. Wow, I'm also threatening knight to e6 here, because this is pinned. To e6. Okay, so there's a queen trade. Knight to e6 doesn't work anymore. We don't have a queen sacrifice. I don't like a queen trade here because it just opens up my opponent's rook. Did have knight e6 because this is pinned, but if I go back to, if I put my queen back on f3, I don't like this pressure from my opponent. But it also looks okay. And then I also have discoveries on my opponent's queen with my knight. So I'll go back to f3. This is protected twice. I'm threatening something like knight to c4, knight dc4, or knight to c4, attacking the queen. My opponent wants to open up the center. If I go here and they take, I take, they take. Okay, let's see this. Here doesn't lose the piece because the queen hangs. Here, if my opponent takes, I can also just develop my rook here. If they take, could take with the rook. I do like knight to c4. It does complicate the game a lot, but it seems like a good move. Just tempo the queen. Knight c4 takes. I take. My opponent takes, and then I have to push. I don't like that. I don't like knight to c4. I weaken my king very heavily. I could push her. Pushing looks fine. My knight is stuck on this square. Pushing loses the pawn though. If I bring the rook, I think bringing the rook, just adding a defender onto this is fine. They take with the knight, tempo the queen. Now I'm the one that's threatening to take also. Could put my knight on c3 or b3 looking for this. Also putting pressure on the queen. Maybe I could take here after knight to b3. Knight to b3. Protects the queen. I still have knight to b3 here. Knight to b3, if they take, I take with the rook maybe. Knight b3 takes, no. Knight b3 takes. This is pinned. I like knight to b3. I also see knight to f5, trying to win a piece. I'll just tempo the queen here. I do have this move, tempoing the queen again. Looks very aggressive, but I feel like it's a good move. The queen has to move. The queen is almost trapped. Has this square. The queen doesn't have any of these squares. Only has this square, which is safe. Taking here is maybe good. If I take here, also, if the queen was on this square, and my knight was on there, if I took here, I'd open up an attack on the queen. My opponent's the one who takes. Could take with the rook. Have no checks here. So if I take here and they take here, I can take here. Take the queen first. They take my queen. I look very weak. Take my queen. I can take here. Oh, but then if I take here and the rook develops, that's very dangerous for me. It's incredibly dangerous for me. I can hit this bishop to remove pressure with this knight jump. Hitting this bishop with trades, I'm happy with that, because then I have discoveries. And if the bishop has to go back, that's good for me. Very active pieces. If the bishop takes, I have discovered checks. If the bishop takes, I actually think I win this rook. If this goes back, maybe I have this move. We have an unsafe king, but extra material. Threatening to take this right now. If the bishop goes back, I think I have this move. The king is very cut off. And then I also threaten to take here, which looks very powerful. My opponent decides to take. I have discovered checks now. I think this move forces the king this way. So this move forces the king this way or this way. I pick up the rook. If my opponent defends their rook, I just like this move a lot. Picking up the rook. My opponent actually resigns in this position. Our position is much better, like I thought, but didn't expect my opponent to resign. Let's have a look at this game. We won our first ever 15-minute game, so let's look at this. We played with an 87.3, my opponent a 76.9. We played like a 1500, my opponent like a 1200. I think we played a very good game. We had 2 inaccuracies, but otherwise we played very accurately. D4 was a better move. I just didn't like losing this pawn. But then I take with the knight here. I actually missed taking. We win a pawn here because if I take and my opponent recaptures, I win their knight. And I'm attacking this. And we're just up a clean pawn. Instead I played d4. My opponent decided to take, which was a huge blunder because he loses a piece. It's just a big fork. It's a discovered attack on the h5 knight. We don't want a queen trade, which was good. Taking the queen was best. Knight to f5 was better. And there's a line here where we win material. And we're doing much better. Instead we played knight to c5. My opponent took. And we have a discovered check on the king, forcing the king away, winning a rook. If the king stepped up, we'd have bishop takes the rook as the best move. Recaptures. Then I'd probably just double my rooks. We'd be doing well. 2 rooks against a rook and a piece. But my opponent resigned in this position. We get the win. We played a very good game today. Also from today I'll only be playing 15-minute games. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you tomorrow.